Be the change. Be the change. The best part about being the change is that once you do this quiet inner work, and you have to go beyond the ego. So you're diving behind the mask. So you're going behind your own mask and you do that inner work. You can do it silently, quietly. You can do it over time. It can be something that you just puzzle on your own with. And the funny part is that once you start doing that work, you are going to show up in your world around your friends, with your family, at work, in school, whatever it is that you're doing in your life, whatever work, anytime you sit down and do some inner work, you are going to show up differently out there in the world. And it's the best way to change. Morphing into anything you want, just because you can. Beginning. The future. Frozen. Beginning, the future, and frozen. Beginning is the hardest part. What they say in Publix, the founder, he said, begin, the rest is easy. That's the hardest part. Get started, begin anything. Beginning. It's a good time to start a new job or a whole new career. You have creative ideas that get noticed. Build a nest egg for the future. And then we have the future. Plan for the future while living in the present. You are always supported by spirit. Your psychic abilities can bring you prosperity. Frozen. There may be a hiring freeze or no new work now. Being aloof can leave you out in the cold. A warm follow-up gets you in the door. Frozen, the future, and beginning. Courage, inner strength. Take action, trust yourself. Different types of bravery. It always takes courage to start something new. To start anything new in this life takes courage. It goes for if you're going to get a new job. If you are going to start today and do some inner work that doesn't include your ego, but rather how you feel about things, who you are on the inside, it takes courage. It takes courage to start a new job. It takes courage to leave the old behind. It takes courage to stand your ground. It takes courage to listen to what you're wanting from the inside, to be honest and truthful about what you truly want for yourself. And it takes courage to start planning a new day and to understand that you have creative ideas that are, and those are always incoming. If you're open to it, they're always incoming. And you have creative ideas that get noticed by people, and then utilize it. Take it into action. Make something cool out of it. The future. Present moment. I'm hearing the birds, feeling the wind in my hair. You be present in the future. Like feeling the inner body is a point of entry that you can enter into the present moment. So feeling that inner body will take you into now. It is not being frozen, it is being present. And while you're present, like if you're frozen, you might be all stuck up and you just keep going. The inner body is quite the opposite of that. It's kind of like just a subtle little energy field that is inside of you always. You can always tune into this energy field at any time, and then you can be more present in the moment of your life, right here, right now. And so then when you're in the moment of your life, that's when you want to start planning for the future. And then you set up, what is your plan for the future? Have a little game plan for it. And then in the moment is when you're going to start acting on these things that you have to do in order to accomplish. Making plans from the moment, from now, instead of hopping around and being all frozen inside, not thinking about how you feel, not feeling about how you feel, not taking into consideration what your intuition is saying, not taking into consideration what your authentic needs or wants and purpose is, not taking that into consideration, but rather be frozen because you've adjusted into all the things that was presented to you throughout your life, all the conditioning, all that stuff, and it makes you frozen in that role that you're playing. This is an attempt to have the courage. It takes courage. It's the most difficult journey that you can take on planet Earth. It's the one that goes within. Don't cost any money. You don't have to go anywhere. You just have to sit down. And that is often the most difficult thing to do, is to just sit down and be quiet. Beginning, strength. You have the strength that you need. You have the courage that you need. You have the support that you need. Strength is about, like before I would, as an example, like before in my life, the people would tell me things or say things or be offensive or whatever. And I would just latch on to everything with my feelings. And I would latch on to everything with my feelings, and my reactions and my feelings just came latching onto whatever happened and made people laugh. And it was, all funny and stuff. And then as years went by, I learned to not attach my feelings to everything that is going on out there. I don't have to react to it. I don't have to do these things. It was taught behavior. And so finding the inner strength to be able to maneuver inside of yourself, you have to go beyond the ego again, go on inside where it's all supposed to be safe and warm and protected. You're protected. And then you go in there, and then you find that inner strength where you can handle your emotions. Like you can have things happen and feel things, and then be able to just stand with it. You don't have to act on it. You don't have to do anything on it. And once you find that inner strength, also, like when you come to terms with who you authentically are on your inside, and when your emotions are purely from your own experiences, not from what they taught you, not from the conditioning, but purely from your authentic self, then you have an inner guidance system in your emotions that will take you to your purpose. It will guide you to anything and everything that you want in your life, that you need in your life for your soul to grow while you are here on planet Earth. It's quite remarkable. But most of us never get in touch with it because we're so wrapped up in our thinking and frozen. So everything on the inside is kind of set on hold because it's too much, and we're trying to do the things that the role that we play is supposed to do. And so here is like warming up, having the courage to warm up, to go within, to the beginning, begin again. A page of swords. Pages are like immature, like maybe just learning to speak your mind. There are some clouds out here, and she's looking out. She is ready to talk, ready to say things. Beginning, like everything has to start somewhere. I'm sure none of the great speakers, none of the great the people who do great things, they weren't professionals when they started out. Like they had to start somewhere, and then along the line, the more practice you get, the better you get, of course. And so starting on something new, not letting your age, not letting your ethnicity, not letting your gender, not letting any of these things hinder you in the message that you have, in the purpose that you have, and allowing yourself to do it wherever you are at in your life. If you have a calling, if you have something that you want to do, if you have something you want to express, now is the time to communicate it and to express it and put it into the works. And everything has to start somewhere. Every good thing starts somewhere. Otherwise, it wouldn't get started, and it would never be a good thing. And so here's the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is someone who has been perhaps you had to protect yourself from the beginning of your life. And you always had to protect yourself. You always had to stand up against adversities. You always had to protect yourself against judgments. You always had to protect yourself against like cruelty, bullying, all that stuff. And so here you are today, still standing, finding your inner strength. And maybe this is what you want to communicate. How can you still be standing after all those trials and tribulations and all those attacks that's been made on you? How can you still be standing with just a little band-aid around your head? Holding it together, still holding it together, standing in your truth, still standing in your strength still, communicating what you want to communicate still, beginning something new, taking all of your experience, taking all of everything that life gave you. Your life is a journey. Your life is a lesson. Your life is a teacher. So what did you learn? Like, how did you pick up the lessons that life gave you along the way? And this is the beginning of something that takes great courage to put into works. This is something that you have to be able to stand within yourself, to stand in it. And so being wounded warrior, it shows a lot of courage. It shows endurance. It shows resilience. It shows an inner ability to adopt or adapt, or what's it called, to merge into your surroundings. An inner ability to change into what you need to, how you need to be around the circumstances that you're in, so that you can get out of them whole. And this is not an easy task. So someone here has been on quite the journey, and life is quite the journey for most people on planet Earth. And the future and law of attraction, and the Nine of Swords, and the Sun, and the Queen of Swords. Going from the Page of Swords to the Queen of Swords is a good thing. Like, that's development. That's someone going from being immature in the beginning. Of course, you're going to be immature. And perhaps you have to learn how to deal with your inner strength. Perhaps you never really acknowledge your inner strength. And so the Nine of Swords is like nightmares. It's overwhelmed. Your thoughts are just constantly going. You're constantly worrying about something. There is constantly something happening that you have to put your attention to. There is always something that is upsetting to you. There is always something that is making you, you can't go to bed, you can't go to sleep, because when you close your eyes, your mind is overactive and it just keeps you awake, and it's creating all these horrible stories about the future, all this fear, like what the uncertainty, how am I going to do that? Will I be able to? Is it possible? All those fears, all those uncertainties. And so dealing with that, finding your inner strength, beginning today to go within, having the courage today to go beyond your ego mask. This is the role that you play, and you can keep playing that role. But you're going to find, if you go within also, you can keep the role. You don't have to change anything. But if you go inside of yourself, you're going to find the inner courage to really stand in who you are and stand in that role and embody it like nobody's business. And so there's a big change. There's a big thing. There's a big uncertainty that you're going to let go of when you embody it authentically. So the Sun is out here too. And so going from the Nine of Swords, which is, if you constantly think about, if you always think about negativity, if you always have negative, angry, fearful thoughts, then you are going, that's what you're going to create. And so for the future, for to now, okay, so now you're learning to, okay, you're wounded. You've been through a lot of things. You have a lot of consequences attached to you as a person because of life and what happened to you in your lessons, in your teacher, the life. And so here you are. How can you find, though, the courage to go within so you can quiet that mind, so you can find solace and peace within yourself? One thing that you can do is to focus on your inner body and just close your eyes for a minute and then just focus on the sensation of your inner body. There's a subtle little energy field all around, like everywhere inside of your body. When you close your eyes and you focus on this energy body, you are not in your thinking mind. You're not in your thoughts anymore. You bring yourself into peace and serenity and the sun and the joy. And that's where you can awaken the true joy in your life. And now you can feel that true joy without having it be attached to a project that you're doing, without having your joy be attached to a person, without having your joy being attached to a situation, without having your joy being attached to an outcome, without having your joy being attached to whatever. It can be out there, but you have your joy because you're working on your inside. You are going to embody the joy, and then you can take yourself and your joy into the project, and you can take yourself and the joy into the situation. You can take yourself and the joy together with the person. You can bring all that to the table instead of having it be an expectation of something that is going to come out of something. It's a big difference, a big shift. Queen of Swords knows communication. She knows how to express herself, communicate, logical parts. And perhaps the Strength is teaching you more to rein in your emotions, be more professional. Like the Queen of Swords, I would see her as someone professional, to the point, cutting to the point, going to not doodling with everything and cushioning everything. Oh, I feel bad. Oh, no, you show up here for work, then you're going to do this, this, and this. This is how we work. Or this Queen of Swords, this embodying this ability to direct and to take charge without being sidetracked by all the information of the emotions and everything that other people carry with them. Frozen. I think a lot of people are frozen. They don't even know about it, but they're frozen in their own role. They learn to play this role in life, and then they froze into it, so that they froze off their true authentic emotions on the inside, and they are frozen into this character that they are playing in their life on the outside. And Four of Swords. And this is also like when I say that frozen and ego and on the inside, on the outside, it's not a judgment. It's a result of living here on planet Earth. This is how we've been taught. This is what we've been trained to, how this is how we're being trained to operate on this planet. Be in your role, do the right thing, be like in that role, and freeze up your insides so that you can be the way that you're prescribed to be. And so Four of Swords is like, okay, well, Nine of Swords, Four of Swords is like, okay, I'm still kind of feeling kind of uggish here and kind of overwhelmed, feeling kind of frozen on the inside. So what do? Take some time out if you can, a couple of days just for yourself, or like just how much time you can put aside to yourself. Set it aside so that you can be with yourself. And close your eyes, and maybe all you focus on is to find that center within yourself that can be able to experience the inner body, the little energy, subtle energy field that is inside of yourself. Once you get connected to these things, there's a shift that happens within you, and now you're going to see things in a better way. You're going to see things with more clear eyes. You're going to see things through, not through the veil that has been placed upon you. You're going to take it off, and now you're going to be like, okay, so this is what's going on around. Okay. So a little bit of meditation, a little bit of time out, and see where you are at, because not everybody's going to be frozen on the inside. Some people are completely confused on the inside. Some people are completely fearful on the inside. Some people are feeling nothing and frozen on the inside. Some people are angry on the inside and also go out there and play and pretend and put all the smiles on and everything, because that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what people expect us to do. This is an encouragement to not be afraid of who you truly are, because you won't run around and be a monster, and you're not going to run around and ruin things. You're not going to run around to break the law. You're not going to run around and create chaos, because once you find your inner stillness and your inner peace, that's what you're going to bring to the world around you. So wherever you go, whatever you do, now you're going to bring that sense of serenity and peace and prosperity with you, instead of the frozen, bringing that to the table. Well, here I'm over here, I'm trying to remember what the role is supposed to say, and I'm trying to remember how this role is supposed to feel, and I'm supposed to remember how this role is supposed to communicate in certain scenarios and different situations. It's a lot to think about. Like, it's busy to be a person on freeze and just being active in the role that we play. So this is your encouragement to allow that to soften. Allow your insights to soften and come back to life. This is how you're going to be able to experience your life. Otherwise, you're going to freeze your way through it, and then it's done. And the Knight of Pentacles. This is my reminder. I always, I would like things to happen. I would like things to happen like really quick. So when I start something, I want to be done with it. Basically, I want to jump over the whole process, and I want to be done with it and just get the result. And I think I'm not alone in that. I think that's a very common way to approach things. However, what I found with doing the inner work, which I started doing inner work probably, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe. If somebody told me 20 years ago, like, oh, you're going to start doing inner work, well, just be patient, because in 20 years, you're going to see the results. I would be like, whoa, this is very uncomfortable to be able to do this in the first place. And you're telling me that I'm going to have to do it for like 20 years before I'm starting to see the results? Like, This is the reminder that it does take time. It does take time, because the things that you notice about yourself, the things that you learn about yourself when you close your eyes and you go into meditation, the things that you learn about yourself, you have to embody these things. And now you have to practice new ways of being, and you have to practice new ways of reacting. So when people come in and they say something that before would have you lash out on your emotions, or freak out, or be triggered in some way or another, now that you've been doing this inner work, you're going to be able to, okay, now you're lashing out, no, you reel yourself back in, you have a different approach. And this is how you do it, little by slowly. You're changing how you come out and how you do things. And the Knight of Pentacles is getting results, but it's over time and it's slow moving. So be patient with yourself and do it anyway. Now I'm so glad that 20 years ago I started to do this work. I am so glad that I did that, and that I put my focus on it the best I could, outside of being distracted all the time. If I had been able to keep my focus, I would have probably not took 20 years. Maybe it would take 5, 10, maybe. And 7 of Cups, all the different choices that we have in life. And that's perfect. Like, okay, so I found this courage to do the inner work. It was the only thing that worked in my situation. Everything was just very sad and frozen and everything. So finding that courage to start the project, there's going to be, like, when you start the project, there's going to be distractions coming at you and many different choices that you're going to be able to choose between in your life. So find the one that is authentically yours. And how you do that, you have to be aware that the role that you play is going to have attachments to outcomes too. Like, you're supposed to do this when you're in that role. You're supposed to choose that when you're in that role. And you're supposed to do these things when you're in that role. Maybe you just did it because you were frozen on yourself. And so you just did it because that's what you're supposed to do. Now, though, you have the opportunity to not do that. You have the opportunity to actually go within, sense that inner body, find that core feeling of your soul, who you truly are, back again, and now make choices from your heart. Your emotional guidance system will take you to where you need to be for your purpose. If you allow it, and if you get in contact with it, it will take you to the most beautiful places. Esther and Abraham Hicks says, pivoting is the continual hour after hour, segment by segment process whereby you choose the positive. Choices that we have, all these different choices. Choose the positive. What makes you feel good? What raises your vibration? What raises how you feel? Choose, make good choices for, choose the positive. It is the way to get to feeling good. It is the way to get to feeling good, to choose the positive. And it is a way that you can get whatever you want. Whatever. Beautiful light in me, it honors, it loves, and it respects the same beautiful light in you. Till next time, namaste.